I'm the Wildlife family. Basalt's gonna change into a plane, and Grandma's gonna take me to check out some deserts. And then Grandpa Matic takes me and Zygo on a spaceship all the way to Jupiter, the largest planet. And Mom teaches me that caterpillars change into butterflies after they make their own cocoons. After that, my dad shows me how water comes from a dam and gets into our faucet. And when we get back, I zoom out to Saturn to take a closer look at its rings. Stick with me, and we'll have great fun.
Come along with me and meet the smartest family in all the town. The Wildlife family. Mom can make it plain to see that what goes up eventually comes down. The Wildlife family. Come and meet the Wildlife family. We got a lot of real know-how. Grandpa knows a lot about flying. Ask him and he'll show you now. Why do airplanes fly?
When I land, I'll tell you why.
Meanwhile, there's a dragon making some kind of a potion in a vat. The Wildlife family. And Grandma's no stranger. She can teach you all the dangers found in that. The Wildlife family. Max is a mechanical marvel. Why? I know copy kind of guy. Maybe we can show you the answer now. If you want to take a look inside. Everybody's in a lather.
Rushing, wondering what's the matter.
Every person hears a cry.
He rushes to the baby side.
What's the deal? What could it be? Just ask the Wildlife family.
Have you ever wondered why the salty oceans, lightning, thunder, what the earth is like down under? Why there's wind and snow and rain? Let Eartha and Basalt explain.
Well, I vote for a tropical island. Nice, warm, sunny beaches.
Nice sunburn, you mean? I say a few days of fresh mountain air would do us all a world of good.
Sure, if we survive the boredom.
What about a nice camping trip in the country?
Hey, this looks like a nice quiet spot for a vacation.
You don't want to camp in the desert. Deserts are nasty, hot places.
Oh, not always.
Get out of here. Whoever heard of a desert that isn't hot?
I have. And if you'll listen, you will too.
What's a desert?
A desert, Victor dear, is an area where very little rain falls each year. Two places that don't get a lot of rain are the North Pole and the South Pole.
And they're not hot at all.
That's right, dear. It's too cold for rain, and nothing much grows there.
You get used to it after a while.
Now, let's go explore a desert with a little help from Basalt.
Hey, could I get another bag of those peanuts?
Oh, no, not rain.
Just what we need. Take us up, Basalt. Now, Victor, we'll see why there are deserts. Watch the storm cloud.
It stopped.
Right. It can't get past the mountains.
It looks like the cloud is running out of rain.
Right again. And none of that moisture reached the desert on the other side of the mountains.
Yeah, it looks pretty dry down there. Everything is brown.
Deserts can form for other reasons, dear, as well. For example, Australia's desert is so far away from its coasts that storms blowing in from the ocean lose all their water before they get there.
You get used to it after a while.
No water, no plants, lots of rocks.
Oh, and it's so hot.
I saw a TV show once that was in a desert, and it didn't look anything like this. It had a lot of sand dunes.
Well, that show may have been set in the Sahara Desert in Africa. The Sahara is very sandy, and it's how most people imagine deserts. But it's not what most deserts look like.
People, what do they know? This is a great desert. Just take a look. You got rocks, you got stones, you got more stones, you got more rocks, and you get used to it after a while.
So, Grandma, if it stopped raining at our house, would our garden turn into a desert?
Well, I suppose it would.
It would?
Oh, don't worry, dear. It would take thousands of years for the weather to change enough to turn where we live into a desert.
Oh, that is a relief.
But even if it did,
You get used to it after a while.
Zygo and Magic. Who can tell us all about the atmosphere and Mars? That would be Zygo and Magic. Pick a spot in outer space, they've been all around the place. Zygo and Magic, here they come.
What do you need an automatic pilot for when you've got me?
It's the latest thing, Zygo. All the really hip space explorers have them.
Hey, guys, what's going on?
Oh, nothing much. We're just getting ready to go to Jupiter.
Jupiter? Wow! All right!
Well, since you don't need me to pilot the ship, I'll just rattle off a bunch of facts. Jupiter is over 430 million miles away from the Earth. That's about 2,000 times the distance between the Earth and the Moon.
First, we'll be passing by Mars. Then we'll go through the asteroid belt.
That's gonna mean some tricky piloting. Oh, you better let me take the controls.
It's all right, Zygo. Take it easy. The automatic pilot is programmed to handle this. And it's not like we're the first ones through here. Pioneer 10 and 11, 2 space probes, have already passed through without mishap.
See, Zygo? Grandpa Matic was right. Everything's okay. Wow. It's huge.
It sure is, Victor. Jupiter is the largest planet in the solar system. Its diameter is 11 times the Earth's, and twice as heavy as all the other planets of the solar system put together.
Because it's so big, right?
Well, that's not the only reason. It's also because Jupiter is nearly all liquid.
And liquid is heavy.
Jupiter has a small, hard core made of ice and rocks, set inside a thick mantle of gas. And they are both wrapped in a gaseous atmosphere. Jupiter's atmosphere is made up mostly of hydrogen and helium.
What are all these colors?
Temperature differences in the gas layers.
And where do all these stripes come from?
They're due to the fact that Jupiter spins very fast. Twice as fast as the Earth.
Oh, well, thank you, Zygo. Does this mean you're finished sulking?
Nope, just taking a little break. Oh, no! Oh, no!
Towards that red swirl!
Howling hurricanes! It's a gaseous whirlwind! It appears during certain wind conditions in Jupiter's atmosphere.
The automatic pilot is taking us straight towards the whirlwind! Zygo, do something!
Wow, hooray! Good for you, Zygo.
Whew, that was close.
Now, tell me again how much we need an automatic pilot, huh?
Hey, what's that?
Oh, that. It's a ring of particles.
Like on Saturn?
Yes, only smaller. It's so thin, you can't see it from Earth.
Nobody even knew it was there before the Pioneer satellites explored Jupiter.
Those look like moons.
You're right. Jupiter has 16 of them. Well, it's about time to head for home.
You better let me drive.
No need. Wait till you see the guidance system I've inserted into the program.
Oh, yeah, that's quite a guidance system.
When I said we needed something to lighten up this room, this isn't exactly what I had in mind.
Serious. The animals and plants are not so mysterious, so have no fear. Everything will be made clear. Vanilla, Quake, and Quack are here.
Mom, come and see. I think this plant is sick. Look, Mom, you see all those little yellow spots?
Those aren't spots, Victor. They're butterfly eggs. Look, this one is hatching.
Wow! I've never seen a baby butterfly before.
It's a caterpillar. A caterpillar is the larva of a butterfly. You could say it's a baby butterfly. But during a long process called metamorphosis, the caterpillar will change into a butterfly.
Hey, I know a nice short process that will change that caterpillar into my lunch.
Ew, that's mean. It's eating its shell.
Yes, its shell is very nourishing. Caterpillars are born with jaws, which enable them to hold food and chew it.
But what is it going to eat once it's finished its shell?
Leaves. But not any old leaves. Depending on the type of butterfly, the eggs are laid on the plant that will feed their caterpillars.
Hey! There's a butterfly now!
That's a cabbage white. It's called that because it lays its eggs in cabbages. Like all caterpillars, it spends most of its life eating. In just a few weeks, a caterpillar can increase its weight 100 times. Caterpillars grow so fast that they outgrow their skins and form a new one. It's called molting.
Ouch! Its hairs are prickly!
Caterpillar's hair keeps it safe against anything that might eat it. Let's take a walk around the garden.
Oh, they're beautiful!
They're red admirals. They live in nettles. Look, Victor. In a month's time, the red admiral caterpillar will settle on a leaf and change into a chrysalis.
What's a chrysalis?
It's the stage in between the caterpillar and the butterfly.
It's changing its skin.
Yes, it is. For the last time. Its new skin will harden and form a protective shell called a cocoon. And now, the metamorphosis can begin inside the cocoon.
Hey!
Quack, leave it alone. It's changing into a butterfly.
If you ask me, it's sleeping.
No, it isn't. There are a lot of things going on inside this cocoon. The caterpillar's body slowly changes into the butterflies. It's reborn. Red admirals take about 2 weeks to complete their metamorphosis.
It's finished! We can see the wings!
Well, its wings are still soft. It has to dry them in the sun to make them hard. A butterfly's lifespan is very short. Most live a few weeks, but some only a few days. Barely long enough to mate and breed. But don't forget, they used to be caterpillars, so you could say they lived 2 lives.
And I hereby vow to eat vegetarian from this day forward and leave butterflies in peace. Now, sign. Good. Now I don't have to share these worms with you.
Hey, hold it! I didn't say anything about worms.
It's in the fine print.
This isn't fair! You'll be hearing from my attorney!
How does it do this? How does it do that? Max is the one with the electronic knack. Machines are his thing, so don't go berserk. Max on the job. You'll find out how they work.
Right this way. Follow your tour guide. And here's one of the great wonders of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, Venice! That fabulous city built upon water.
Wow! This is a supermodel of a city. Can I touch it? But, Dad, there's no water.
Oh, am I absent-minded or what? Well, I knew I'd forgotten something. Water for the canals of Venice. Oh, no. This can't be true. Am I unlucky or what? The water's cut off. It had to happen now of all times.
Dad, how does water get to the faucet?
Water runs through pipes. At least it should.
And how does it get to the pipes?
First, the water's drawn from a big reservoir. Then...
No, Dad. Show me.
Why not? Come on, I'll show you. See that, son? This dam holds back the water which is stored in the reservoir.
But what's a reservoir?
It's a place where a lot of water is collected for the whole town.
And where does all the water come from?
It may come from a well or from a river, but it's all rainwater.
So water flows from here to people's houses?
Yes, but before that, it must be purified. I'll show you how. Let's get into this protected bathysphere, because otherwise it would be dangerous. Ah, I forgot. We've got a shrink. Here we go. This is the pipe that takes the water to the pumping plant.
What's a pumping plant?
It's a place where water is purified. We can't always drink it as it is. We have to purify it in several basins. First, these grids get rid of the big stuff. It's called a settling basin, Victor. Here, the water's impurities settle on the bottom of the basin.
Yeah, like when I put sand in my water pail and it sinks to the bottom.
The principle is precisely the same. In this basin, the water undergoes a chemical treatment which kills microbes. Fortunately, the bathysphere protects us. And now, we've got to shrink some more. Water's precious, my boy. It has to be safeguarded.
I think we're being sucked in.
Right, Victor. We're being pumped into a water tower that is built on a high spot. From here, water flows to people's houses. We're going home. Water in the main pipe runs up and fills our tank, which is under the roof in our home.
Let me guess that. Water runs in pipes from here to the rest of our house.
By turning the faucet, a washer lifts up and lets the water pass through. So here's the reason the water was cut off. A limestone deposit is blocking our faucet.
Limestone?
It's a substance that builds up little by little inside the pipes and can even block them. Watch out! We're heading out! This faucet will make me crazy. I give up. The problem must be in the spout. Well, unless it's the handle. I would...
Who has all the answers about the sun and moon and stars? That would be Zygo and Magic. Who can tell us all about the atmosphere and Mars? That would be Zygo and Magic. Pick a spot in outer space, they've been all around the place. Zygo and Magic, here they come.
That was neat, Zygo. Come on, do another trick.
Okay, how's this?
Very nice, Zygo. I see you're demonstrating the configuration of Saturn's rings for Victor. Although Saturn doesn't usually fall over.
Very funny.
Can we go see Saturn's rings?
Well, of course we can. Well, we've got a long ride ahead of us. Saturn is 885 million miles away from the sun. Why, that's almost 10 times the distance from the Earth to the sun. So, Saturn only gets 1/100th of the heat the Earth gets.
Wow, it must really be cold.
Oh, terrific.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's gonna be a bumpy ride.
What's going on, Grandpa?
We're flying through the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter.
And once we get past Jupiter, the next stop is Saturn.
Now, Saturn is 10 times larger than the Earth, but it's not nearly as dense, so it actually spins 2.5 times faster. Saturn is made up of frozen clouds of gas and ice, but the temperature of its core is over 27,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Grandpa Matic, what are those colored spots?
Those are storms. Saturn has very powerful winds that exceed speeds of 330 miles an hour.
And the storms stay over the same spot, which doesn't do much good for property value.
Here are Saturn's rings now, but I think perhaps we don't want to see them quite this close up. Saturn's rings are made up of billions of particles of dust and rocks covered in ice. They can be as small as ice cubes or as large as 7 miles across.
Hey, what planet is that?
Why, that's not a planet, Victor. That's Titan, the largest of Saturn's 21 moons.
Hey, the episode's almost over.
Well, we're just about finished. There's something else I want to show Victor. Take a look at these 2 moons.
You mean the ones inside the rings?
That's right. Those are referred to as the shepherd moons because they move among the rings the way a sheepdog moves among its flock. Now, here's something really interesting. Uh-oh.
That was pretty interesting, all right.
Yes, that was, well, that was engine failure.
What?
Are we stuck here on Titan?
We can't stay here. It's almost the end of the cartoon. Try it now.
Way to go, Zygo!
Well, Victor, what'd you learn today?
Oh, tons of neat stuff. I learned the deserts are dry because clouds can't get over the mountains bring them rain. I learned that Jupiter has 16 moons revolving around it.
Jupiter is the largest planet in the solar system. Its diameter is 11 times the Earth's.
I also found out that caterpillars spend most of their time just eating and growing. Cool, huh? I learned that a pumping plant has many basins to purify our drinking water. Now this water is clear. And I learned that Saturn's rings are made up of billions of pieces of dust and rocks that are covered with ice. Hey, what planet is that?
Sounds like a pretty big day.
It was, but he still had plenty of questions left for next time.